Yo, what's up? What's good? We back with the YMD. I was about to call it the YMD podcast. It's not that no more. It's YMD Fireside.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been trying to get this podcast going. My man Ron here. We've tried this before. We've tried this in different forms, in different ways. So I'm happy that we finally get to sit down and chop it up. We got a lot of shit we gonna talk about today.
We got a lot of stuff, bro. Every single time we talk, it's longer than an hour. We're like, we gotta make sure we get the clips in there. We gotta make sure we can make clips for people because it's like we talk about good things, but we gotta make sure it's organized. But we good now. Second time through, we good.
Facts. That's the thing. I honestly, all jokes aside, I do believe in the trial run. Sometimes you got to figure it out, and I'm not mad that the shit I wasn't sure about didn't get posted because I feel like keep trying, keep doing, but sometimes you can just do and then not have to just throw shit at the wall until it stick. You know what I'm saying? See what worked, then post. But anyway, that's my little content creation tip for all them out there who are 5 people gonna be watching this video, who are looking for this shit.
No, it's like 6, like 6 or 7. You can.
6, yeah, bro. Because you got a couple people gonna watch it too. So you know what I'm saying. We gonna get to 10 one day. We gonna get to 10 one day. For sure. But how you doing, Ron? Tell us a little about yourself. Ron is a comedian, a producer, a writer. Just doing all the damn things. We met on Twitter on some crazy.
Do it too much.
Hey,
but yeah, I do all those things. We met on Twitter. He's like tweeting one of these days, and I like every tweet that he had. I was like, yo, like I really fuck with this dude, bro. Like everything he says, like is on point. Like I need to like. I sent him a DM. I think too. I was like, yo, like try to just talking some shit, just like it was weird because I was like, because you meet somebody that you like, but you don't know personally. You're just like, I know we're both strangers and all, but at the end of the day, like, try to just talk perpetually.
Facts, no, and it's funny. The last one I did last week, or 2 weeks ago, it was somebody I knew from college but didn't really know. And I was like, she posted something about Jasmine Sullivan, and I was like, yo, I've been looking at your social media for a while, and I don't want to be a weirdo, but come on this podcast and let's do some. And it was great. That's funny. And also we had a deeper connection. We didn't know that. Cause your boy Artist, we went to camp together, when we was children and shit, or teenagers. And so, it's a small world.
Very
but
small. And I didn't even know you knew him. And then when I mentioned your name, I was like, talking to this, I think I saw him on Twitter. He said, how do you know Tony? I was like, oh, how do you know Tony? He said, you guys knew each other from camp or something like that. And I was like, yo, I grew up with this dude. I grew up with Artist. That's crazy.
Facts. So, and he doing his music shit too, his production shit. We all trying to get to that bag, So reach out to people, bro. Just reach out for sure, because you never know what's going to happen.
It's also bad. It's a little bad though. The world is small. I'm gonna do a transition into dating because when you date in the same area for a long time, you forget people know each other. You forget how small the world is. Sometimes you be you go to a random store, you be you see your boy with the girl, you're like, oh word, oh, you're
that's
no.
how it is. Oh,
sometimes,
okay, all right, sure.
It occasionally happens, and then you're just you forget, you kind of get into the whole romance of the whole thing. You think you in a movie, you think it's cute and everything, but no, you literally are dating someone else. It's serious, bro. People know other people. And it's
the streets, the streets are unforgiving, bro.
The streets are unforgiving, too, bro. It's rough a little bit, but yeah.
But you had said something before we got started about, and I wanted to highlight that before we got into the shit because I feel before I want you to explain it from your perspective, but I will say this: when I was in college, I had the same conversation with my boys. We had this little spot in our house we was sat in and talked for some reason. Just the same spot we would all talk there, and I was just like, man, why I gotta do all this da da da? But like I said, I want you to get it started, and then I'm gonna say my little piece afterwards. So go right ahead. Yeah.
So I had recently had a date where I didn't have a date, but I had a possible date, and I was going through the mixture of just communicating with a girl and talking about how maybe we can do this place, maybe we can do that place, and we were weren't really connecting on that point because I wanted one place and she wanted to do another place, and like I didn't want to give her enough like of her own choice to the point where like it kind of like I didn't want to give her a choice in the matter, and like that's like a bad thing to do. You always want to give the girl her option first because like I mean you want to make sure she's comfortable before you are. And it may sound a little messed up in like the structure wise. She's like, why don't you make sure you're comfortable, Ron? It's like, no, but like as like the dating game goes, it's just like her comfort kind of comes first sometimes. You know, like it's like you gotta aim for her, and then you can kind of be like, oh, I want to go this place, like maybe for the next date. Like it's like chivalry comes first when it comes to dating night, typically. And so it's like, unless she doesn't want chivalry, and she was like, oh, I want to go where you want to go, which is cool. But like typically speaking, no, it's like her place first, and then like you can do like yourself. So like I didn't really want to be that chivalrous from the jump. I was like, I really, really want to go to this one place because like this is my like favorite place to go to. It's very chill. They have like they're open for like a long ass time. You know, like they just like they don't close like 5:30. They're just like open for like as long as like you want to stay there for. It's like and it's like it's got like you know like just pastries and stuff too. Like you can get like a little Nutella cookie or something like that. You know like. It's like
it's a cool spot. Sound like a cool
very
spot.
Cool spot. Yeah, they got a lot of couches. They got a piano and stuff. And it's just like it's like a spot for everybody just to kind of meet and just do work and stuff. But yeah. So, but she didn't want to go to that place. She wanted to go to like a different spot. And I was like, I mean, yeah. So it's like yeah, it's up there. But like I learned, I was like, yeah, just got to be more. Make some more compromises in the beginning, you know. Just like to kind of make sure that it's a comfortable environment.
Yeah, you want to be accommodating. You know, I made a little joke. I was like, "You want the pussy or not?" Like you know, it's earlier. Like, but I mean, it's not always about like getting pussy. It is about like, yeah, it is about though.
But it is at the end of the day. You're just like, I mean, that's like the main priority, and then like kind of just shifts and just like, well, I mean, as guy brain takes over and just like kind of
yeah, because I don't want to make it like you can't just go on a date, enjoy somebody's company, and the last thing, and the only thing you want to do is fuck. Like sometimes I really just enjoy kicking it with shorty. It might lead to that later, but I feel like when you go in, like, okay, it depends on who you are as a person. Like for me, I like to play the game. Like you know what I'm saying. I like to like bullshit. I don't know, like, but. I know some niggas who like, yeah, bro, I got a 6-step method every time. Like, I do this, then I do this, and
it's got to be at 4:00 on a Monday. Like
facts, like
got the whole thing.
I got and that's what you, like, you know what you're saying, like as far as having those preferences, wanting to go a certain way, and I was thinking about this before we got started and just talking because it was a little more informal, like as far as like building out what we talk about today, but. I was just thinking about how they're. I want to get into this a little later, more in depth, but you know, we talk about this a lot. We're in kind of like the women empowerment era right now, where a lot of women are justifiably, you know, talking their shit, you know, doing all these different things, advocating for themselves, and telling us as niggas that we ain't shit, and that's okay with me. That's cool. I mean, you know, I'm not shit.
I mean, it's not like bad because it's good for like communication. Side note, there was this one meme that blew up about this one girl, and she was the whole thing was just like, why you being weird to me as like a woman? Yeah. It's like if you treat me really, really good when we're together, but like afterwards you kind of just you're acting like you almost ghosted me afterwards. It's just like, yeah, like that's a messed up stuff that guys be doing. Like, you know, we be treated like, oh, nah, it's whatever, bro. Like, no, you actually being weird to this woman.
No, you're being an asshole. But you're being an asshole. You know what's fun? You know what's really funny about that? Because, I don't know always where to stand on this because I was thinking about that. I was talking with my homeboys just about, you know, whatever. And I was like, sometimes I wonder if, like, I act in a way that's deserving of love. And if that makes sense, like, yeah, I'll sit there and I'll be like, and I'm a pretty good guy most days. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to act like I'm perfect, but, you know, my thing is I'm an avoidant ass motherfucker. So like, I'm sitting there waiting for a sign for somebody to be like, I'm like, bet I'm out. I'm going speedy because I like running. Like, I feel
that like, it's like once something bad happens, you're just like, nah, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm
looking for you out. But
It don't even got to be a red flag. It could be like orange or pink. I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker. He's somewhere on the spectrum.
Oh, you do laundry today? I bet I'm out.
I'm out. Peace. Sorry, I'm working on my craft. I can't be distracted right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, right. That's my toxic trait. And so I feel like, you know, there are people who, you know, on one level, I think it's like on one level, I will be given and I will showcase all that, and I feel like women sometimes perceive that as weakness. When you do the when I'm vulnerable, or you know, when I'm not Mr. Smooth guy, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I feel like a lot of times I'm playing a part to get to the P, you know what I'm saying, and so like. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, bro, but if you really want to find like these connections, maybe it's not love and y'all married or whatever like that, or a girlfriend, but if you want to build these connections and maybe get to that point, rather than, you know, withholding yourself or giving a girl a little bit and then taking it away and, you know, playing this game. I fall into it. I'm human and it works. It does work from time.
Everybody gets caught slipping every so now and then.
For sure, but like I'm trying to get to that place where I actually like can understand how to be in a relationship. And I think what you started with by saying like there's a give and take is really important. And yes, in society, the man oftentimes is expected to be the initiator. Like, we can't fight that. We can't. And honestly, sometimes some girls I'll be like, hey man, it's a lot for me right now. I ain't even never got approached like this before. Like, I need you to relax. Like, I'm not used to this. But there are ways that we can kind of, you know, balance that out. So I think that's very real. And also, my man's told me some shit too, back in the day, like when I was in school. He was like, you know, just take her. He was like, make sure you have some places in mind. Like, take her somewhere that's nice, that isn't, it don't got to be super expensive. You don't got to do all, like, there's some girls who will be like that, but you got to know what type of time shorty's on. Like, this might sound goofy, but like, I don't chase after these bad Jones or whatever, because I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to put a down payment on you, bro. Like, I'm like, I got cars, I got rent, bro. Like, you could get this Birkin.
I'm in the midst of moving out. I'm like, when it comes to dating, I'm just like, bro, like, I'm not gonna spoil nobody at this point. Like, I'm trying to get to the point where I can afford to spoil myself first. I can't afford to, like, I can't even think about spoiling someone else at this point. Like, I'm just, you hit me. It's like, what's it called? It's like a scene where just like, you hit me in a very weird time in my life. I think it was like with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson when they're like in Japan or something like that.
Oh, what is that?
No. That was Fight Club. When it was Fight Club. When they're in the building and he's like, you caught me in a very weird time in my life and the building's falling down in front of him. I feel like that's where I am dating. Like I'm just like, yeah, you caught me in like a very middle of like a conflict or something. Like, it's just.
Shit.
I'm gonna work around this shit. I'm gonna work through it. But like, you caught me at like in the midst of a lot right now. I'm struggling, but I'm working it. You know?
But see, that's somebody said that to me though too, where it was like, there's no perfect time to find like to you know what I'm saying? It's like, it just works. It either works or it doesn't work. And like, I feel like that's a handicap I have. It's like, whoa, when I have a little, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be focused on getting your own shit together. Cause like I said, I'm not dating right now. And I haven't really been dating at all. And like, maybe last summer I was talking to some Jones, like going out, you know, saying what's up, trying to slide, you know, all that. But for the most part, I've been like really locked in on me. But I also know that I'm a sappy motherfucker. Like, I really try to hide it. I really try to pretend like I don't have these feelings and shit. Like, but when it comes to me, when I start liking a joint, I like her, bro. Like, I can juggle different women, and there's actually I was watching, I'm gonna send it to you later, but there was a video about Kant, and it was talking about how like he didn't. And he's like a whatever philosopher, but he was basically like an old philosopher, but he was basically saying like the value of casual sex isn't necessarily real, because it's really just two people trying to reach an end, like trying to get to, you know, it's an ends to a means. So
it's not real because two people trying to reach an end.
Yeah, it's like you can do it. And I'm not here to say, hey, y'all, be like me, be celibate. Like, nah, bro, like, don't be like me. Go get some pussy, bro. Like, for real, enjoy your lives. But like, I do feel like, you know, there is something where people are oftentimes talking about, oh, like, I want to find love. I want to find real love. I want to find, or these Jones ain't solid. Like, I'm trying to find somebody for real. And then you are, go ahead.
I was going to latch on that because I think that, like, because I think you're going to say, like, oh, like, you gotta kind of watch what you do because, like, you can't just do casual sex with, like, people and it's not expected to at least affect your relationships with other people that you actually want to be serious with and you don't just want to do the same thing with. Like, you gotta have a balance because if you don't have a balance, like, it'll affect other relationships you have. You know, like, they can't have friends with benefits on one side and then expect you to have the same type of emotional integrity when it comes to, like, relationships that, like, are, like, going to be that you want to be serious. It's like, oh no, if you still have this relationship where you fucking around and doing shit that you want to do, it's gonna kind of, like, feed into it. You know, like, you're gonna have, like, they're gonna, like, probably, like, bump heads and, like, when it comes to, like, your mind and everything like that. Like, you're gonna have a little bit of battling connections, I guess, like battling like, because I mean, like, I remember, like, when I was, like, in a relationship in, like, high school, like, well, it was in high school, but it was college. Like, you can't necessarily do both it's not sustainable. You can do it for a little bit, but, like, long term wise, it's not sustainable unless you're in, like, a different type of relationship, like, more so than normal monogamous, like, one-on-one. Like, typically speaking, like, it's definitely, like, something like it's going to affect you a little one way or another. Or you're going to get hit by, like, a train when, like, when the shit hits the fan, when, like, they say, like, oh, I'm going to move on from you. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Like, how do I feel about this relationship? Yeah. Like, and then you have to evaluate. And then once if you get hit by one of those things, you have to evaluate, like, how you feel about that person enough, like, and whether or not it's worth, like, talking about, like, being serious with that person. Because, like, when you get in that type of, like, relationship, like, sometimes you're just like, nah, like, do you want to treat this person more seriously, or you just want to, like, mess around for, like, longer and stuff like that? And it's like, and typically there's, like, psychological element too that happens. Like, some people can't deal with that stuff too. Like, sometimes, like, if you're going through a lot of stress and anxiety, like, you might not be able to handle, like, having that type of, like, relationships with people. I'm like,
definitely.
Yeah, I'm at a point where, like, I'm at a point where, like, I think I can do in those relationships, but I don't think I can really do some relationships, like, realistically speaking. Like, there's definitely, like, everybody has those days, and stuff, and they're like, nah, bro, if I got some pussy today or some shit like that, or I had some sex with somebody else and just hold myself over for, like, a little bit longer, it's like, nah, like, realistically speaking, like, because this weekend gonna turn to 2 weekends, gonna turn to 3 weekends, you know, it's just, like, realistically speaking.
And I honestly feel like, you know, that what you also led into was time, bro. And for me, I think I told you that story about when I was tripping and I met that dude and he was like, yo, what's your currency? And like, this was like the craziest game I ever, you know, them moments where you hear something that changed your life forever.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of them. I was at an EDM club for whatever reason. And it was one of them nights. Like, I got in, I had enough money to get into the show, but it was one of them things where it was cash only. And I was like, yeah, I got, like, you know, whatever. Shorty was like, I think we found an extra ticket. Let me in. I was like,
that's dope.
So I came back around. Yo, what's up? So you got extra? What else you got extra? No, but like, but when he said that, I thought about that for years, and I still think about that. And it's like, yeah, I want money as a means to support myself and travel and build up the things and support my community. But my true currency is really my time and the people I meet. Like, that's more valuable to me than anything. And so, you know, the amount of time people put in, and I won't say that this is because I had this problem for a long time. I think it's more about underdeveloped sense of self in certain ways than being a man or woman thing.
Yeah.
But I saw something else on Instagram or something that was like, you're not in love with this person, or you don't like this person. You like the idea of this person. It's a figment. You like a figment of your imagination.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh,
you see somebody that you see that's really attractive, and you're just like, oh man, like I know if I just got this relationship, if I just was able to, like, find a way to, like, talk to him and get to him, and you get with them, and you're just like, oh, wait a minute, the personality you thought of is not who this person is, and you just kind of you made a whole dream out of it, you know, like, you can't just, like, it's easy to assume nowadays, because, like, nowadays you get sentimental, and you're like, oh, like, I know this person will match up with me, the chemistry might be, it's gonna be great, and then you get in a relationship like, oh, the chemistry ain't here. Like
it ain't. Or you had that one little moment where it's like, oh, bro, like when you been with this John, like kicking it, whatever, and like you like, oh, this gonna be great, and then the next two times y'all link, it's just like, bro, this is mid. like, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing here, bro? Like, why did you let me come here if you was gonna act like this? Like you know what I'm saying?
Like, so you have somebody who thinks they're funny, and like, but no one's told them that they ain't funny before, so they just like they crack jokes. You're just like, yeah.
See, as a nigga, you learn your shortcomings very early in life, bro. Like you learn your shortcomings super early. And so you meet like me, I'm a short nigga, and I knew it. I was like, oh yeah, nah. They was like, yeah, we don't. And I was like, damn, I'm that short. They're like, you're not even that short, but you are a short nigga because you're not tall. So like, you know, like,
side note, women, the one. I know men are trash, but like women are way too judgmental and critical when it comes to this like superficial stuff. Like they're superficial too. Like all of the days of the time, like they'd be like, "Oh, like
we all are."
How tall are you again? You're just like I'm tall, but like I've heard things coming from women being like, "I could never date somebody that's short." I was just like, "That's crazy, man. Like you're a horrible person." In my mind, like you can't just
and you shorter than the niggas you talking about. You are like 5'2". Why? Like who are you anyway? Yeah,
like you can't have high expectations and like you don't know how tall your soulmate is. You don't know how short they are. Like you have no idea. Realistically speaking, like I know like all of my friends I know, like they're short. A lot of them are shorter than me, but like they're great ass people too. You know, like it's like so you won't just disregard someone's entire personality and like their entire makeup, what they work for, just because of like a couple of inches and like height. Like that's really what you gonna do? Like, man, that's
but I mean, like. I don't really care about preferences. Like, if you only date tall niggas, that's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, oh, bro, like, why can't you see me from beyond? I'm like, bro, if that's not what you want, like, I'm not going to sit here and spend my whole life, oh, like, if only I could get 2 more inches, I'd be great. I get all the bitches. Like, no, bro, you like, no. But at the same time, I agree with you saying. It's like, I have grown out of my mindset where it's like, this person has to look this way. Or they have to have these characteristics, like because there have been some people I've met who I let my own like, oh well, I don't want this or I don't want that, and then there's some things like for me, like I might engage with a white girl, like I might even date a white girl in theory, but
in theory,
my preference, in theory, yeah, right. Look, I gotta put the
subscribers be like, oh, you date white women? All right, I'm gone.
Oh yeah, look, it went to 3. It went from 6 to 3. Like
it's a dangerous thing nowadays, man. Like
we're already canceled. We're already canceled. But my preference is a black woman or a woman of a culture who understands my own culture, understands the day to day of why I move the way I move, and like, and that's important for me. Like that's so. If there could be an attractive white girl who's real cool and or a Hispanic girl or Asian, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter.
There are white women that are actually like really, really in tune with just like the struggles of like the everyday like black struggle. Like they're in tune to it. They're aware. They're like trying to do their best, and they know. Like there are people like that. But there are also a lot of fuckheads, and so it's like I think like, the fuckheads and the people that like are horrible white women get, I think, elevated a lot more in the like the internet hemisphere more so than the people that are actually like caring and like good people. Like
for sure. And
side note, I want to talk about the internet. Like I feel like nowadays, like we'll talk about it later.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean, because I was just gonna say real fast, like this ain't the white woman apologist show. I just really want to get that clear out here. Like we for our sisters. The Black History Month just ended. I ain't about to just switch it up because it's March 1st and shit. But I but the point, honestly, is like I just feel like there's a difference between having a preference and having a actual like rooted in it. Like mine is rooted in my cultural background, my understanding. Like if I could marry a Ghanaian woman, I would, because I want to continue the Ghanaian culture in my life and I want it to be strong and consistent. But I'm gonna fall for who I fall for. Like if I fall for somebody, because I look at this point, bro. Look, it's real easy to just be by yourself. I'm not for some people. For me, I don't gotta worry about certain people. Like I don't gotta do certain things. I can just live my life, go to work on the things I want to work on. I don't have to put time aside for somebody else.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to get and I barely do the shit I need to get done when I don't have somebody else who I'm focused on. So if somebody come in and it's like, hey, nigga, come here, nigga, like, you mine now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that type of energy as far as, like, the vibe of it, like, I need to be with shorty. Cool, perfect. But before that comes, bro, I'm not, like, I need a bad bitch with da-da-da and da-da-da, da-da-da. Like, nah, bro, like, I need somebody who's attracted to me, who's enterprising, bro. That's one thing, bro. Like, I need a joint who, like, got her own shit going, who ain't sitting there like, oh, like, I need a nigga to do this for me and that for me and this for me, or who already hates niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know the types, Jones. They be like, I don't even know you. Yeah, like, I'm like, bro, like, if you coming into this space already trying to disparage and making me into the ghost of niggas past,
I had a date recently, which was like, it was a good date, but like it was a good date, but when I was like, she had a little bit of like, not orange flags, we called it. Yeah, there were a couple orange flags where it's like her perspective on like how like men should react or should do things for like women and everything. Like, you could tell like, oh, like she, like, I joked about getting like my nails painted, you know, like how like they be getting like the color of the nails and everything. And she was like, I don't know about that. I was like, so if I got it, like, that would be the end. Like, that would be the red flag for you just getting my nails painted. I was like, that's light. What if we have like a future or whatever, and we have like kids and stuff like that, and I have like a son, and he wants to pay his nails, and he's like, I'm like, it's a little bit weird.
Yeah, like,
you gonna just,
but
like,
see, that's the cut your, you know, like, keep your son from expressing himself, and that's the other thing. Like, there's a lot of internalized misogyny that women also participate in, and so it's like, you can't say one thing, and we're all guilty of this, like this, you know, but you can't say one thing and be mad about this or mad the way that men treat women in certain ways, but then be holding them to the same, like, hold them to the same patriarchal standards.
So if I have an opinion of like, if I have an opinion that only women do certain type of things, now it's like, oh, you start to see, like, they start to see how messed up it is. Like, yeah, having a destined standard for like another person that you're dating is very messed up. Like, you can't expect that. You can be like nice, you could try to like make comfort for somebody else, like we talked about earlier, like trying to make sure they're comfortable, but you can't force somebody to have like a boundary that like they're just trying to like you can't just control other people. Like, make sure they're comfortable, but don't try to control another person. That's just like that, because that can borderline go into like abuse territory and like being manipulative. And like, oh, definitely, making people feel bad, like, oh, you're going to really like do that? Like, it's like, bro, like, I'm out.
Facts.
I'm out, bro.
Facts, for sure. But let's go to your topic. What did you want to say about the internet? I don't want to let. I want to
talk about. I think that, like, I feel like the internet right now, like, not the internet, but like when it comes to like people getting mad about things, like when I think the people, well, I think. Like, what am I trying to say? Like, I think it's easy to get mad at, like, different, like, parts of, like, the community or different types of people based off of, like, the loudest person in that community. Like, a lot of people try to cancel people from just, like, or, like, not cancel people, but, like, try to highlight, like, oh, like, white people are doing shit again, like, some shit like that. And, like, it's just kind of just, like, the loudest white person that's, like, saying some bullshit. Like, or, like, when it comes to, like, white people, like, or, like, conservatives talking about like black people, they always take like one instance of like one video and there's like, this is exactly what's wrong with it. Like, we have to stop kind of just taking that and amplifying it, being like, because it kind of just like, it kind of utilizes, it kind of makes people just kind of like use that example and kind of just makes like an echo chamber or whatever. It kind of makes people just mad, and it's like the hate of the day or whatever. And it's just like, oh, like, this is what's wrong with like this, that. And it's just like, it's creates like this whole vacuum of just like hatred and it's just horrible, like, opinions. It's like, oh, this is why, yada, yada. You know, it's just, it's like, like, I
mean, you know, you've heard my takes on social media and like why I deleted my Twitter and all that stuff.
Yeah, you left Twitter for that reason. Yeah. I support that too.
By mistake, honestly, I just forgot about it and I was like, oh shit, I guess it's gone now. Like, I used to sign back in every month and then I just was like, I forgot about it. But I feel like it also does the work of those hateful people for them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, how many times y'all gonna get got by the same motherfucker saying the same talking points? Like, you know that this shit is just to incite anger.
And you can't like we gotta like my buddy artist was talking about how like it was like the newscast from recently about the Ukraine situation. He's like, I'm not even gonna repost this. It was like this one newscaster or this new news anchor was talking horribly about it. It's like I'm not even gonna put this back into like the timeline so people keep seeing this bullcrap. Like I feel like we should do that same thing with like things that we should see as horrible. Like if someone says something bad and like really, really racist or some shit like that, like just like unless you want to like make sure they get fired from their job, don't bring the shit back up because it kind of just gives people like a little bit of a legitimacy and stuff like that. Like post it, I don't know, dox them or whatever, but like other than that, like don't retweet and like try to say like, oh, this is horrible. Like nah, like you're still giving them a platform to say the messed up stuff. Like, and it's just like let them die in silence. Like, just don't let them give them any precedence over your life in any sort of way. You know?
No, I agree with that. I was like thinking about, as you were saying that, like what were my stances on that? Because I was like, you know, on one hand I agree, and for the most part I'm not victim to do or privy to, you know, like reposting shit that you know, oh my God, see, like if I see black people dying, I'm not going to repost that shit. Like, I'm not reposting the racist shit that people say. Now, I did repost that. This was a compilation of it because, and for me, it wasn't even about the black. It was just, okay, shit, I know people who, like, the reason why I reposted was because somebody I know from Kurdistan reposted it. And so I was like, and actually, I think Artist knows that person too, actually. But like, or we all knew of each other because we all the same camp. But like, and that's not to say, oh, like, you know, what, like, you should have, but more so, like, it depends for me. And so for me, the Ukraine war thing, all that stuff like that, very real, very, very touchy conversation, even if the whole world is banding together to say fuck Russia right now. And the only reason why I reposted is because Ukraine, the fact that Ukraine is being invaded, unprovoked, all that, like, you know what I'm saying, is very fucked up from a geopolitical standpoint. But Yemen's been getting bombed for years. Syria's been getting bombed for years. People have been getting their territory occupied. China has been colonizing Africa for the last 20, 30, 40 years.
Sending money to all these people.
Yeah, building up infrastructure that is eventually that they basically sold their soul, their country for the next 100 years. Like, and so while I'm it was really dope that people are rallying together and homeboy, the president of Ukraine, he a boss ass nigga. I fuck with that. Like,
that one thing he did. That's the one thing I do want you people like to celebrate and stuff. Is him actually being patriotic. That's patriotism. That's true patriotism. Yeah. Like, I'm literally gonna stay even in the midst of battle, in the midst of like a war that I'm pretty sure might go south. I'm going to stay with people because I believe in them and I'm the president. Like,
I'm the leader.
I ain't gonna be real with you. Most presidents, Joe Biden, I don't think he would be staying. Like,
Joe Biden can't even walk down the stairs without fucking taking heart medication. So like, nah, if Joe Biden was out there, I've been like, Joe, just sit this one out. He been stuttering and shit. Like, nigga would have been falling asleep during the like the fucking fucking message. But
to tie though, I do think open discourse is good though. Like I talked about how like don't repost things, but like there's obviously, if someone's bringing up, you can repost things as long as you bring in a good discourse into it. Like, I mean, as long as you're not just being like, this is what's wrong with it. Yeah, like, you know when you hating. As long as you keep that stuff.
Not self-righteous. Yeah, and not being self-righteous in your...
And the 2 cent hatred thoughts. Like, the 2 cents, like, you know, you're just throwing shit at the wall that, like, you shouldn't be throwing out there. Like, you know a dumbass opinion when you throw it. Yeah.
Facts. Like, I think that's another side note. That's partially why I got rid of my Twitter for the rare time. I mean, maybe not rare because I used to say a lot of stupid shit just off the dome. But like for when I do get big or whatever, blow up or whatever, that people ain't looking back at me in 2020 when I was horny in the pandemic inside and like fucking putting like woof sounds to fuck. I didn't never do that, but you know niggas be like, barking and shit.
He's barking in the chat rooms.
I was barking in I was moaning in the club.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
Clubhouse was sick, bro. I hear Spaces still be crazy, man. I do miss some of the
that's hilarious.
I miss some of the immediate reactions of Twitter. Like I started watching Snowfall.
Yeah.
But the thing that I liked about it though was I forgot to watch Snowfall because I was busy, I just didn't get a chance to watch it. If I was on Twitter, I'd have known every fucking plot detail. Felt like I had to go and do that shit. But because I'm on IG, but IG don't be showing you people shit for real. Reddit, you gotta find the shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to watch this shit in my own time. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Twitter is like blowing up with euphoria tweets now. Like I'm still on Twitter, and like it's literally like I know the plot already. Like I know like what happens to most of the two characters, and I was just like, I saw there's so many. You can't avoid television sometimes if you're going on like Twitter. Like you just can't avoid the biggest things that happen.
Facts, and like sometimes shit just. I think I was talking about like last week, but like sometimes shit like just make me mad about Twitter too. Like sometimes people's thoughts, like I just don't want to see your thoughts on shit, like because you haven't thought about it. Ironically enough, you're sharing your thoughts and you haven't even thought about it. You're just posting this shit on here.
That was
for clout.
That was me this morning. I posted a horrible tweet. It was like just like some stupid like, oh, like if you work out for 3 times a day and you got a notification that you're out of breath for today, like I was just some stupid shit. Like,
but that's you being goofy. I'm talking about people who go on Twitter with their whole chest and say dumbass shit. Like when people be lying, like one thing I realized probably like my sophomore year, junior year of college, like when I talk on the internet, I don't cap. Like I don't, like I might, exaggerate every now and then, but I don't be capping about shit. So like when I realized like niggas really be lying, like just lying, bro. And then like
got a whole personality be like, yo, I would never be caught like this, lacking like this. It's like you got caught lacking 2 weeks ago,
bro. You are like you getting caught lacking right now, bro. Fact, bro. Oh my god, these crypto scams.
Oh no, yeah. It happened on Instagram too. Like, do you know people that be getting hacked and like they start selling crypto immediately? They post on a story like, damn, they got another one. Like, damn, they got Johnny.
I always think that. I always think that. Damn, another one buys it. Because you always know. It's always all their pictures are gone. It's a little screen. I turned 2,000 into 23,000 with Bitcoin.
You got Mercedes pictures on the story. Just like get Mercedes $50,000. What's your cash app? Like shit,
bro. Damn it. No, but then here's what they do too, and I'll be like, see, because I'm not ever gonna pretend like I'm not too good to get got or whatever. But I remember, sometimes I see people like they'll record a video, and then that's how they get people to go further because they'll people like, oh, they recorded a video themselves, and like I'm like, so you did this before you even saw the money.
Yeah.
You was like, I'll record this video. Like you got to think of like So
I think it's not a video. It's more like links. That's how they get people. Like they send you a link, and if as long as you click it, it goes straight. Like somehow it goes straight past. I think like the password links and stuff, and so you kind of you're done. Like once you press that link,
because then
it's dope.
Well, they can also make it so that you basically by clicking on that link, whatever you do, it makes your email like they'll send a recovery email to their email.
Yeah.
And that's how they change their password. So everybody get 2-factor authentication. People can still scam you, but most people don't have 2FA. Like, so that's why people be stealing accounts so easily. But, but nah, like, I just feel like, so I was doing this little and this wasn't a scam.
Yeah.
But I have a decent bullshit detector. You know what I'm saying? Like not
That's
great,
good.
not every time, but decent, and so I was talking to them and shit like that about like potentially having a marketing franchise, right? They pay the cost for the franchise. You go through training, you do some commission work, and then you basically get to own and operate the franchise, except for a 10% royalty, right? But see, even that language, own and operate a franchise. How do you own something that you have to pay 10% every month for? You don't own that. You're leasing the franchise, which is okay.
It's true.
But you don't own a franchise. You're renting a franchise. And like, I was asking, first thing they were saying like, because I have my other business. I do creative consulting. I work with clients on, developing their brands, making music, audio production, all that shit, video, photography, all that. And had to plug myself on my own podcast. I don't know. And was like, and they were like, well, we have a non-compete clause. So I was like, that's yellow, orange flag number one.
Non-compete clause. That sounds a little bit like
Well, it's because they're teaching you their ways to market, their foolproof method of marketing. And so if you're out here getting it and then you're also supplying your business on the side, then, so it made sense from a legal and, hey, we're not about to train you.
Non-compete clauses, because I don't know what that is. I don't think some people know what that is either.
You're right. Thank you. So basically it means that once you sign a contract to work with them or to own their franchise, you cannot also have other marketing clients via your own business. So you have to operate.
So you can't have clients. That's weird.
Do I have clients?
No, so you can't have clients once you sign a contract. Essentially,
I can't have clients. All my pre-existing clients would have to fall under the fold of them.
Oh.
So I have to change my rates to their rates. I'd have to, generate leads the way they do it. Like, basically, it's like, and like I said, it's not like, oh my God, what you're taking. It's just saying that anything you've built that's with the marketing side, fuck all that. So, but think about it from my perspective. Okay, but I do all these other things. Marketing is a part of that. So I have to basically operate for two different companies because they're like, you can still do the other stuff. I'm like, the other stuff is a part of the marketing. So I can't just be like, oh yeah, whatever. So that was the first orange flag, which made sense. But then the other thing, and I think you'll get a kick out of this one. I was like, so can you tell me about your track record on diversity? Now, you know what that fucking means. What y'all do for black people? These motherfuckers hit me with this. They said, well, if you look at our About Us page, you can see. I was like, our About Us page? You couldn't even pick up a picture. You couldn't even give me a stock photo of a nigga. Like, you couldn't even be like, well, actually, 2000.
Well, we have an initiative. Like, nah, bro.
Not even an initiative, bro. They didn't even say, like, they don't even have an initiative. They said, you can see that we celebrate and leverage diversity. I'm like, what the fuck is leveraging diversity?
As you can see by this graph, it's like, where is this from? Like, you can't just show me no random information.
Facts. How many black franchisee owners do you have? What do you do to support them?
Like
Facts. Like, and so ultimately, I was like, you either pimping or you getting pimped. Like, that's not always the case 100. But nigga, you pimping me, nigga. You out here saying, I'm about to give me another motherfucker to build up this business. So whether he stays or leaves, I get 2-3 years of money coming in, and then, cool. And that's fine. I don't think that's a terrible opportunity. But back to that whole BS detector, when niggas ain't really, and then the other thing he did, that's my last little point. So in the marketing and shit like that, they tell you to say things like, hey, Ron. Okay, so Ron, what do you think about this? What do you think about this, Ron? Like, they'll keep having you say your name to make it build familiarity. Make it more
personal. Yeah, it's just like,
and I'm like, nigga,
first name basis. It's just like, you still trying to mess me up, bro.
Facts. You are out here trying to like hit a lick off of me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know me.
Or they give you a sense of a little bit of information, like, oh, like we're just like an up and coming business, we're a family owned business, we're trying our hardest. It's like you trying to pull my heartstrings while you like trying to make some BS. Like, that's you manipulating, like it's just like, bro, like it's like, no, just like
it's very manipulative.
Calm down. It's like, no. Like, yeah, like I had one gig, someone was trying to have me sign a rent application with the wrong address because it was like with the wrong address on the application. It wasn't even like the house that I was like applying to. I was like, oh no, I would never try to do anything shady. Like I used to live on the street and everything. I was like, this isn't a heartthrob story. The issue I have is just like with like some like discrepancies that legally is really bad. This is like a red flag legally.
You're trying to get me caught up. You trying to get me caught up so that you can get over. And oh my god,
I'm struggling right now. Bro, like, I'm struggling too. I need you to like show the details of something. What? This is a big financial decision. You can't just be like, oh, but like it will put me in the bad position. Like, like what is the information that you are hiding from me? Show me more.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. And I try my best to be for it right. Because, like, at the end of the day, we all have our own interests. Like, we can't pretend like I'm holier than thou, like that. There are some ways that...
Don't try to throw the... sorry for, like...
Other people under the bus.
Don't try to throw someone under the bus just because you're in a bad position. Because that's... You're not going to do anything for your reputation or anything for, like, you personally. Like, you're just going to... You're going to make enemies that way, Like, just be honest with people and, like, give them all the facts that they want to hear. And just like, or else it's a scam, Or else you're just trying to go
and I feel like, some of it is real interesting is that like there is so much of like, you can be shiesty, and probably be more successful from like a quick get money over time perspective by being shiesty, by taking advantage of people. Like, I'm not saying that isn't a way that is successful for a lot of people, right? Like, you see it, we know it happens. But the other thing about it is, I hate the feeling of always looking over my shoulder. I just can't do it. Like, I can't sit there and always be looking around and saying, oh, like, who's out to get me? I got all these ops. And like, like, I don't have no ops. Like, if I got ops, they are unknown. Like, they incognito mode. Like, yeah, bro, they ain't in the phone book. They ain't on nothing. Like, they're behind, anonymous account right now. Like, I don't know none of my ops. So, it's just, it's interesting, man. It's interesting. So I got like 10 more minutes. Before I gotta head out.
That's good. I got 17 minutes left on my laptop, so we good.
Look, simpatico. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's what, but so let's
talk about.
Let's talk about the internet. We talked about love or romance.
We can talk about creative stuff, like creatively speaking.
Oh yeah, we should. Thank you. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Music wise, I think that like being patient is good. I think patience is something that I've come to terms with, and just being more patient, and also refinement. I'd say creatively speaking, refinement is definitely something that kind of is really important, and understanding that like in order for you to make that thing you really, really like, you have to understand that you have to sometimes put in more than you've ever done to do it. That's like what that you have me doing.
And it's tiresome, bro.
It's very tiresome. It's tedious, but like at the end of the day, once you get to that product, though, you're just like, oh, like it's going to kind of like sustain itself, though. Hopefully, well, ideally, it's going to sustain itself if you work that hard on refinement, like, because you know it's good, you worked it out, you experimented, you made the right moves to make it what it is, and it's going to just kind of just like it's like its own starlight, essentially, just there.
For sure. So tell us about, because I do want to always take opportunities to spotlight, and tell us about what you're doing, like as far as like, and some of your journey with it, whatever you feel like sharing, but just put some light on yourself right now so that more people can know about what you're doing and what you're trying to create.
Right now, I'm a writer, creator, music producer. I've been making music for 6+ years, so that's a big part of my life is music, and just like making like ranging from hip hop to electronic music and like groovy pop hits. Like I've kind of gone into more like the pop direction now, but like I'm very comfortable where I am, and I think that I'm open to working with people and just like working on like maybe soundtracks too, making like soundtracks for movies and stuff. And I'm excited about where I can go with that. Maybe like making music with you too, actually too, because like you make music too, bro. Like I want to like I'm open to collaborate with you and everyone else, and anybody who wants to like hit me up. I got Hardwick Jones is my Instagram, HART Wick Jones. That at Instagram, that's my Instagram right now, and like so just hit me up, DM me if you need a beat or you need some something for just like some backdrop music or anything for like music for like a film maybe too. Like if you need help for that stuff, I'm your guy for that stuff.
For sure, and we definitely
okay.
No, it's cool, bro. But not the last. But not the last time. That's but that's important.
Yeah.
I have a video that I just didn't finish editing, but I'm working on making videos that aren't need like time dependent. So these ones I'm try to put them out every other week or every week, but but I forgot what. Oh yeah, but basically what I was gonna say was it's about marketing, and it's about the necessity to really put yourself out there in creative ways, find your niche, find your audience, and it's something that I saw something earlier that creatives are genuinely not good at for a couple of reasons. One, because a lot of us are more focused on creating for the sake of creating, for the love of the craft, and as much as we all say like, okay, well, like do what you love and the rest will take care of itself. Yes and no. Like, yes, do what you love. Start with that place. I'm still at Berkeley, but when I was at Berkeley, they were like, start with good music, make good music first, but recognize you have to, find local media sources. You have to talk to build a fan base in your community. You have to create online communities. You have to do certain things. And so for all my creators out there who do watch this, you know, it's important to like, and not to use you as an example, because I have the same problem. Even now, like, even as I'm making things, I'm like, bro, like, I don't want to post this because I don't want people to like, bro, I made a dope song and I got like 12 streams. That's embarrassing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
For me,
it's not about, can't be about the views or the likes, because like, you're not going to get as much as you want, you know, initially at least.
Exactly.
You can hope for eventually get some traction, but like, ideally you just got to post and just like move on. Or repost some old stuff that you had never released, like, or you didn't do a good job of marketing to begin with. I did that with one of the beats.
Exactly.
Like recently I reposted, I was like, been working for 6 years. I know this beat's fire. People who listen to this beat know it's fire. And so I posted it on my posted it up, and I was like, check it out on like YouTube or like something like that, and I posted like a link to like a file. But you gotta just do that sometimes too. Like, you know, if you got something that you know is good, but people didn't hear it enough, just pre-amplify it. And as long as it's not more than twice, I guess, or like, you're pretty much good. As long as you know you're not annoying people.
Man, do that shit till it annoy people, bro. Like, that's my other thing. Like,
nah, bro.
Like, as hard as it is for me to see myself lose followers, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I've been around the 1180, 1190 followers for a year now. And the reason why is because I gain followers and I lose followers. I gain followers and I lose followers. And the thing that's okay with me on that front is that if you're not, and it ain't even personal. It's sometimes it feel personal. Sometimes I'll be like, man, everybody, y'all can get out of here. But in realness, in realness, like, it's actually like, if my content, if what I am, if who I am, because this isn't just me trying to get you to buy stuff or me trying to get you to show me you like me. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is my craft. If that's not what you want to see, great. So I'm trying to find people. And so I will repost another TikTok of this. I will make 10 different TikToks about the same song now. You know, I told you about the video I'm working on. But before I get into that, before I get into my soapbox, I just want to say a couple more things because we are getting close to the finale before I got to go to work. But you know, one thing I wanted to get your opinion on. Okay, two more things. One, I want to talk about the content boom, right? And how it feels like a lot of people are making content because they think they're going to blow up versus doing it because they love it. And I wanted to hear your thoughts on that because I personally, while I get that everybody should be on TikTok doing their thing, it's like the Vine thing. Like, the people who go and get there are the people who are consistent with their output, who are finding ways to get to new markets, who are, you know.
You said it's a content boom where like people are really reposting their own stuff over and over again? Or
just, you know, everybody's getting on TikTok now. You know, everybody's getting on these other platforms, Instagram, and I don't think it's a bad thing. And maybe I just have a lot of creatives on my feed, so that's why it's oriented towards that. But I think people are getting into it for the wrong reasons, because even if you do get to that point of making money, I saw some creator talk about how, like, if they do a brand deal, that money's not coming for 3 or 4 months. You know, like, so you can sit there and think, oh, my dreams are going to come true. But you have to know that if you're really about it, even if you aren't your own business manager, you got to know both sides of that stuff. You can't just be like, I'm just going to do this. And
realistically speaking, you can't make money off something for like a long time, even if you're good at it. Like, it's because like this, like, because no one's going to be like, well, no one's going to immediately try to give you a lot of money initially, unless they're really well off, and even then, that's like a lucky scenario. Like, you have to constantly stand like just like post, but at the same time, I do actually, side note, I do think that nowadays the industry is kind of like on like a shift a little bit, and I think people are being more receptive of people they're meeting off of like Instagram and stuff like that and social media versus like who is being proposed to them through like regular channels and mainstream channels and stuff like that. Like, and I really like fuck with this dude named The Count on Instagram. Like, he's like this he's like the producer, and he makes like really good music and like beat videos where he's on his like piano and stuff, and like piano, he has beautiful arrangements, melodies, and everything. But like, check him out at The Count, Count Cole on Instagram, and like he's making music that like he worked with No Name, I think, based off just him posting on like Twitter. Like he did like had like a collaboration. So like that's like without any type of industry connections, just him posting and people just like reposting stuff, being like, yo, who is this cat? Yo, all this stuff. And like, so there's definitely like a an option or the ability to do that. But like realistically speaking, yeah, like if everybody does that, it definitely lowers that likelihood. But don't expect it to be like that overnight. You know, he's like an exception, maybe. Like you don't know, it could be an exception. Yeah,
for sure. And I'm sure the Count, he had a bunch of different dope videos before that nobody talked about. Too.
Yeah, like working for a long time in bands. Like understand that this is a long term investment for you. It's not going to be a short term investment. It's going to get a lot of stuff back.
And the people who blow up overnight.
It's like 6 years, I ain't getting that much recognition. But like, it's just you gotta keep trying. You know.
For sure. And you actually are the second thing I wanted to close out on, which you already kind of did before, but give us some recommendation to content creators of music, whatever it is, because I do a little like guest recommendations thing on my YMD page. So
guest recommendations
or playlists, yeah, and even music, whatever.
Can we pause real quick? I'm gonna get my charger. I want to get like 10 more minutes in. Is that cool? I get my charger real quick.
I kind of gotta go soon actually, but we can do a follow up.
I'll run my charger and we'll do like 4 minutes. Oh, we do follow up. Well, okay, real quick. I already recommend the Count. How about what's it called? Dang, I don't put me on the spot now. Parts.
That's okay.
I can only think of the Count off the jump. Kaylin Ellis. Who else? What's it called? I can't think of it. We might do another one because it's like saying your favorite movie. I'm like, I don't remember my favorite movie, even though you do. Like afterwards, you'd be like, oh, I remember my favorite movie. It's this one. But like when you ask immediately, just like my brain's like, it just goes up.
No, it's all good.
Well,
it's all good.
I recommend you though in the podcast.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, shout out Tony Drifting. Shout out artist. What is his thing too? Bull? Is that his
BVLL. Actually, I recommend them. Matt Delta. Matt Delta is it's like a Baltimore-based music collective. We're making like rappers just like getting together, just like making like the best like music you can think of. Like just like really good music, and just making it happen. Like I'm not part of it, but I'm just kind of chilling, watching them work, and being motivated. It's getting me back into like just workflows and stuff like that. So they're creative
for sure
out of Baltimore.
For sure. It's funny. You actually the second Baltimore native that I just had on this podcast in a row. And I just realized I forgot about that. So it's about to be the Baltimore podcast. I don't know. But yeah, also shout out to my boy, Kenny Morningstar, Ground Level. It's probably be after this one that happens, but they having a show the 5th. And they doing stuff in Chicago. So that's just my little plug, even though it's not going to be out till after this performance. But, all right, I guess I gotta go to work. But as always, it's good talking to you. You're always invited on YMD Fireside. You know what I'm saying? Like we can do this semi-regularly, all that stuff like that. But I appreciate your time. And I look forward to hearing more music and whenever our collab comes out. Because I've been listening to your beats. I just, been busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a busy time. All right, bro. It's been nice seeing you too. I love being on the podcast. And keep doing what you're doing. I already know you're going to do it, though. But it's like, you're good.
I'm crazy like that. Yeah, you're like... For sure. Thank you for being on, man. All right. Peace. We out.
Peace, man.